Among those rights that are being violated are those of Articles 17, paragraph 1 and 12, paragraph 1 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Also, the Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights in the Palestinian territories occupied since 1967 has underlined in her latest report to the Human Rights Council that Israeli forces often detain individuals without charge or trial in what has been denominated administrative detention. Administrative detention is permissible only under very strict circumstances and must always be carried out in line with the protection afforded under international law. Palestinians in the OPTs are subject to a system of jurisdictional fragmentation in the context of a structure of institutionalized discrimination. Israeli military courts enforce military law upon Palestinians, while Israeli courts apply Israeli civil law to Israelis, including settlers. Regarding the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, there are several provisions affected by Israel's policies and practices in the OPTs. For example, the right to work, protection and assistance accorded to the family and to children and young persons, the right to an adequate standard of living, including adequate food, clothing and housing, and the right to be free from hunger, the right to health, and the right to education. Similar provisions can be found in Article 14, 16, 27 and 28 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. State parties to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, according to its Article 2, shall respect and ensure the rights set forth in it to each child within their jurisdiction. Of particular concern are the detention, interrogation, prosecution and imprisonment of numerous Palestinian children by Israeli occupation forces, practice that is contrary to Article 37, paragraph B of that convention. Certain policies and practices of Israel in the OPTs impose restrictions on the freedom of movement of the inhabitants of the OPTs and deprive a significant number of Palestinians of their freedom to choose their residence, and have, as well, repercussions for agricultural production through the confiscation and destruction of agricultural assets. On the other hand, the population of the OPTs is experiencing increasing difficulties regarding access to health services, educational facilities, and sources of water, impeding the exercise by the persons concerned of the right to health, to education, to water, to sanitation, and to an adequate standard of living. All these difficulties and restrictions infringe a number of rights of Palestinians residing in the territory occupied by Israel, which cannot be justified neither by military exigencies nor by the requirements of national security or public order.